Hey everyone, and welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we are diving into a huge question, one that really gets to the core of what it means to believe. Does faith actually need proof? So what is it? Is faith this blind leap you take in the dark, something you just feel? Or is it more like the end of a math problem, a logical conclusion you arrive at after looking at all the evidence? You know, this tension between your head and your heart is a classic dilemma, and it's exactly what our source material explores from an Islamic perspective. And, spoiler alert, the answer it gives is a pretty fascinating mix of both. So let's start with the path of reason. Our sources today are really clear on this. Faith is not an invitation to switch off your brain. Actually, it's the exact opposite. It's presented as this active intellectual journey toward a very specific goal. And that goal, that destination, is called Al-Haqq, or the truth. Now, this is really important. Al-Haqq isn't just my personal truth or some fuzzy feeling. The sources define it as what is established in reality itself, an objective, solid reality that's there whether we believe in it or not. The whole point is to align our own understanding with that truth. And to get there, the sources draw a super sharp line in the sand. On one side, you've got the path of truth, which is all about evidence and reason. And on the other side, you have the path of Zen, or conjecture. And Zen is basically belief based on whims, on baseless assumptions, or, just following traditions without ever asking why. And the Qur'an, as our sources point out, is crystal clear about this. Indeed, conjecture does not avail against the truth at all. Okay, so if faith has to be based on evidence, where do you find it? Well, this verse right here is like a roadmap. The evidence, or the ayats, the signs, are literally everywhere. From the mind-boggling scale of the universe, the horizons, to the insane complexity of our own bodies within themselves. The idea here is that if you really look and think about these signs, they're meant to lead you to a very clear conclusion. And check this out. These are the tools you're actually encouraged to use. This isn't about blind acceptance at all. It's about active investigation. You're meant to use knowledge or ilm to understand the world around you. You use reflection, tafakkur, to really ponder what these signs mean. And you use reason, your aql, which is the very thing that lets you tell truth from falsehood in the first place. But look, that whole intellectual journey, that's just one side of the coin. Now we've got to talk about the other essential path, the experience of the heart. Because once the mind is convinced, the spirit starts seeking its own kind of proof. And this is where the sources talk about the Qur'an not just as a text you analyze, but as something that sparks a deep spiritual transformation. It's presented as something that speaks directly to the human spirit, offering this spiritual food, this nourishment that shapes people's inner worlds on a really personal level. And get this, there's a huge psychological benefit that comes with this. Our source, Islam and the Destiny of Man, talks about how monotheism creates a unified self. By focusing your life around a single, ultimate reality, Al-Haqq, all those internal conflicts, the anxieties, that feeling of being pulled in a million different directions, they start to resolve. It leads to this incredible sense of inner peace and wholeness. And this personal side gets taken to a whole other level in mystical traditions like Sufism. Here, faith isn't just something you think about or agree with, it's something you experience. The whole goal is to taste divine reality, to go beyond just being intellectually sure to having a direct, personal, spiritual connection. So what we have here are these two really powerful paths, right? You have the path of the logical mind and the path of the feeling, experiencing heart. But the sources are telling us they aren't just two separate roads running side by side. They're actually designed to meet. Which brings us right back to the big question. Do you have to pick a side? Is it the mind or the heart? And based on everything we're seeing in our sources, the answer is a huge no. It's not a competition, it's a partnership. This slide just lays out that integrated journey perfectly. It starts with your mind, you observe the signs out there in the world, your reason chews on that evidence and leads you to recognize that there's a fundamental truth. But, and this is the key, it doesn't stop there. That intellectual aha moment isn't the final destination. The goal is for that truth to hit you so deeply that it actually settles into your heart, turning it from just a fact you know into a profound conviction you feel. And from that point on, your mind and your heart work together to keep that faith alive and growing. So with that whole picture in mind, now we can go all the way back to our original question and look at it in a completely new light. It's time to kind of reframe this whole debate. Let's just ask it one more time. But with everything we've just talked about, Does faith, as it's presented in these sources, require proof? And the answer is, it's not really about proof in that cold, sterile, scientific sense. The journey isn't about collecting data points to win an argument. The goal is something so much deeper. It's a profound conviction. It's about arriving at a belief that's so grounded in truth that it completely satisfies your mind and brings this incredible peace to your heart. The ultimate goal isn't just to prove the truth, but to live your life in total harmony with it.